What's going on, everybody? My name is Ben and welcome back to the bench for a brand new episode here on Sci-Fi Wednesdays. We are jumping back on MegaManX Second Armor Edition. We've got our clear parts from last episode ready to go, and we're going to jump back in today, guys, and continue working on this awesome little kit. So first of all, I think we're going to go ahead and focus on the rest of the helmet. I need to go ahead and clear up some seams. I need to do a little bit of touch-up painting here and there. I need to black out the LED lights that I've added in there, and then I should be able to move on to the torso. And the torso is actually three different parts. You have the upper torso, the waist area, and you have the hip area. And all of those have to kind of fit together in a certain way. And that's going to be the tough part because I need to go ahead and bring power up into the torso to light the lights in the head. So that's going to be interesting to figure out. Now, last time I did hook up all those LEDs and they work. They're great. They're very bright. They look awesome. I will have to go ahead and light block at least the front crystal, but the side crystals are actually okay. I might want to take a little bit of flat black and just kind of paint the rear end of each of the LEDs just to make sure we don't have a lot of light bleed coming back through. But for the most part, the only issue we have is that front head crystal. That needs to be toned down just a little bit and add a little bit of light blocking. Otherwise, guys, we're going to jump into a time lapse. Let's get this party started. And I'm going to work on putting the helmet for the seams. I want to work on some of the dry fitting, at least get an idea how to get our wires into the torso. Alright everybody, so we are back, and after careful study, I think I have figured out the best way to go ahead and bring power up here to power the helmet, and that's going to be having to string two wires up through the legs, up through the torso, into that center chest part where I can attach it to the wires for the head unit, and then hopefully one set of wires for the buster cannon in the left arm. So that's the plan. Now in order to do that, I have to make sure I can fit wires where they need to go. And luckily the ball and socket joints that we have here for the torso and for the hips actually have areas that are cut out. So all we have to do is come in and enlarge them a little bit and then drill some excess holes up into the different torso parts. So let's go ahead and jump back into the time lapse. I'm going to pull up my mini drill and we're going to start pathing out that wire, drilling out some holes, get everything lined up. Then I want to jump into priming for all the different torso parts and then get into painting for all those areas. We got to fix up those helmet seams as well. So let's go ahead and jump back in, guys. Push on. Let's get some paint on some plastic. All right, everybody, we are back, and I am absolutely loving how this Mega Man figure is turning out. We've been able to finally figure out how to get those wires where we need them to go, and we only have one broken part on our hands. Everything else went really, really well. So zoom in here for you, and you can check it out. As you can see, we've got the helmet in there, we've got the LEDs in there, all the wires are hanging out the back right now, but that's because I haven't made my connections just yet. Need to figure out a couple more things. Now I plan on making my connections in the upper torso, and there's not a lot of room up here, so it's going to be really, really cramped. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but we're going to try. We're going to see what we can do. We might have to rethink a couple things. I don't really know. We'll have to figure that out. Unfortunately, that neck joint did break when I was kind of fiddling around with things, so we're going to have to glue the head in place when we eventually figure out our stance. But that's not that big of a deal. It happens, no worries. And of course we have our power wires here coming up into the torso where we can make our connections. One wire for positive, one wire for negative. That should be everything we need to go ahead and power up the lights. And then of course we'll throw an extra set of wires on there for the Buster Cannon that should be on the left arm. Honestly, this is turning out to be a really, really fun project. And even though I don't have a lot of room up in that torso, I'm pretty certain I can get something soldered together. But that's it for us today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here on episode number 3. Next week, we'll be back with episode number 4, where I'm going to hopefully get in there and start working on the arms. I need to figure out how to get power to that Buster Cannon. And then after that, if I have time, I'll go ahead and start on the legs as well. So until our next episode, guys, you know the drill. Go out there, get yourself some bench time, have some fun, build something cool. And we'll see you back here next week for episode number 4 of MegaManX second armor version here on Sci-Fi Wednesdays. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon.